So it's been a while, but I'd like to go back to the nervous system reset tools and add one for you. So this one is piggybacking off of bilateral stimulation. So if you can recall that one, it's the butterfly hug as an example of stimulating neurons in both hemispheres of the brain. So what that serves to do is it interrupts the narrative of what typically plays out when we're activated and triggered emotionally, and we have some feelings that want to be felt. So being able to interrupt the narrative, that story, allows us to become more present to what actually is. It takes us out of the past, the future, takes us into the present moment and into our own bodies so we can hold that space and process. Because if we're in a story, we're fueling that response, and it's going to linger, it's going to stay longer. So when we can do some bilateral stimulation, that is one way where we can ground and we can come back into our current situation and be present to what is there. So where does it come from? So bilateral stimulation comes from EMDR therapy. And EMDR therapy, when I do that with clients, it's a multiple phase approach. So there's a protocol involved. Well, phase 2 of EMDR therapy is resource building. And in resource building, what we do with clients is we practice tapping in resources in order to assist us in processing those difficult memories, the emotions involved with triggering memories, things like that. Well, in this method that I'm teaching you today, we're going to extract that phase 2 resource building, and we're going to make it available for anyone. So you don't have to be in EMDR therapy to be able to do this. You can do this on your own. So in order to do this, we need to understand why we would do it. So why resource building? Well, resource building, resource tapping is great for processing anxiety, depression, especially like when we're in those depressive episodes and we find ourselves in those narratives and we're feeling really awful. So sleeplessness, what else? There's so many, lack of focus, disconnected, anger, frustration, feeling insecure, illness, and processing difficult symptoms, anything. So how do we do it? Well, we look at what could serve us. We look at, okay, when I'm in those moments and it's intense and I find that I'm in this narrative, so I'm going to practice it now when I'm in a calm state so that my brain has the neural pathways and the body can recognize, oh, and it knows what to do to hold space for us to be able to go through those, I guess, those difficult times. You know, we can all guarantee here that at some point, at a future point, we're going to have an emotion or emotions, they can be multifaceted, that are very difficult to process. So we can practice that now, how to show up for those times. So when we think of resources, it could be anything from a calm place. It could be a special person, a special animal, even an animal totem. It could be a spiritual figure. It could be an inherent quality that would support you to channel in that time. It could also be a circle. I love this one, a circle of healers. So it could be loved ones who've passed, angels, spirit guides. It could be a religious figure. But all of these individuals who, you know, it can even be those in life, but they're all there to surround you and support you. in being able to hold that space. So when we activate this visualization of this resource, we can start to tap it in. So again, you can tap with, the butterfly hug. You can tap just by lifting your hands up and down and tapping the table. You can lift your feet up and down. This can look any way. I know with little kids, we can do it as a ladybug. So cute. The butterfly. So whatever you find resonates for you, that's how you're going to tap it in. And you do this about 6 to 12 times slowly as you visualize as deeply as you can, especially that feeling. So we're visualizing it, but we're also connecting with how does that feel when we're so supported by this inherent quality. Feel what that feels like in your body. Feel what that feels like to have this special person who embodies that strength that you're looking to emulate, or that circle, or that calm place. So we're really looking to tap into, how do I feel? How do I experience this internally? And then we're tapping that in. So that's really important, because the body doesn't care if something's real or if something's visualized, imagined. It makes no difference. We activate the same neural pathways and we activate the same chemical responses in the body as what we would, whether it's really there happening in front of us or whether it's something we're visualizing. And that's such a beautiful gift, because when the body doesn't know the difference, it can start to hold it. And this is exactly how we're going to transfer it to those times where we're activated with any kind of painful emotions, processes, narratives, looping, overthinking, all of it. So again, I'll use, let's just say, a calm place, and I'll use that to soothe my anxiety. So I'll connect with the calm place as deeply as I can, as if I'm walking in that area. I'm looking around, I'm noticing what is there, I'm feeling this in my body. What sounds do I hear? What smells do I smell? How is this feeling in my body? I'm really connecting. Do this about 6 to 12 times, nice and slowly. And then I pause and I go within. If I'm feeling really peaceful and really calm, I can keep going and I can activate even more. If I can go deeper with it, or I can just allow that to be as it is, and then I can go about my life. So the more we can activate this calm place, eventually we're going to use it in those more intense times, but we're practicing, we're doing this resource building, this resource tapping prior, so that we can build our capacity to show up during those times. And then when we're in those times, we can channel and be able to transfer that to this experience. I hope that helps. If you have any questions or comments, please drop me a comment or a private message. I hope you're doing well out there.